Like
it's usually the people who are like either in college, after college, young people who have nothing to do, who don't really know what the real world consists of, and they're getting taught this ideology in schools that white men are bad. You know, they're promoting this shit in colleges and universities of like how white people own everything, they're the bad guys, and it's just like going backwards when it comes to race. But now like the pendulum has swung to like just be super racist against white people, and every time that they enjoy fucking Chinese food, it's because it's part of their, you know, colonizer DNA that is, you know,
it's not just because it was good fucking food.
Yeah, like I said, we can't just enjoy things. We have to have always people complaining. So, and that leads into this story. This was so hold on, Alex Jones. This was chick angrily accuses street performer of racism because she's confused about the instrument he's playing. Let's watch this. Oh, whoops.
Who's racist?
Oh, some ja shit.
No, I said that you know where this instrument comes from, that's why I said that.
This instrument comes from
I'm black, I can't be
This
racist.
instrument comes
For
from
what?
Switzerland.
For what?
It's not
For
a
what?
fucking
For
steel
what? If
drum.
you're gonna have blacks, understand
This
that.
comes from Switzerland. You want to learn? You want to be educated? This is a pan drum from Switzerland, not a steel drum from Jamaica. Two different instruments. Thank you very much. You are ignorant, and you are the problem.
Fuck, I'm sorry you gotta deal with that shit. What the fuck?
What?
Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. So we have this lady, we have this chick, this black chick, who walks up to him, and he looks, I think he's Jamaican, and he's playing a Swiss instrument.
Yeah.
So she's like, you know, you're racist for playing this instrument. You have to play, like, they just want everyone in their own little box. If you're Jamaican, you have to enjoy Jamaican stuff.
But what? Because he wasn't playing it.
Because he's playing it. Like, she doesn't believe that he should be playing it. Like,
but this guy has dreads. Like,
I
don't
know.
understand.
But
Yeah.
I know, but he's Jamaican, and the instrument he's playing is from Switzerland. So he's not sticking to his culture. Like, they want people to only stick to their culture. So that's part of why, you know, she's upset or whatever and freaking out. It's just part of the thing that, you know, we've talked about, how people are just, you know, stuck up. And then, of course, too, she says, when he calls her racist, she's like, I'm black, I can't be racist. It's this whole black people can't be racist thing. It's just a fucking joke.
Wow.
Yeah, there was another case too, like this new Japanese video game came out, like super like Japanese, like this samurai game, and it pays homage to like real life Japanese like samurais, cultures and stuff. And there was this video, they had this little like musical piece that they performed, and there's like this old school Japanese instrument, like this flute.
Yeah.
And they had this white guy in the video playing it, and had a like the garb, the traditional Japanese garb, but he's obviously white, like pale skin, like ginger beard or whatever. And this lady on Twitter was like, stop playing this instrument, like you're obviously white and you're appropriating Japanese culture or whatever. And then an actual Japanese person replied to her and said, stop being ignorant. The reason he's playing it is because he's actually one of the last people in the planet who knows how to play this instrument. So it's like, yeah, so the actual Japanese person is like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Like, you don't speak for us, you know?
Right.
It all plays into this thing of just pure ignorance and just the fucking society we live in. So,
yeah, it's just like crazy. Like, where did all this come from? Like, there's some kind of
conspiracy
theory behind everything.
Right.
The degradation of women, of like separation of races, like trying to keep everybody, oh, that's mine, this is yours,
right.
you do your white people thing, I'm gonna do my black people thing, like whatever. It's like,
it's just a way to attack people. Yeah.
It's a way to divide people and make it like,
ultimately that's what they're doing. Yeah, they are dividing people. And I feel like that's what's good about like society, is that we're allowed to enjoy other people's foods, cultures, like concepts. You know, all the things we believe in and practice come from different parts in the world.
Yeah.
And when we live in this world where we're trying to divide things, like you can enjoy this, you can enjoy that, yeah, I just think it's
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that you mentioned that because a long time ago, a couple years ago, I guess, I was going to start my own t-shirt brand. It's called Culture. And the idea was it's like one of these, it's one of the 1,000 Instagram pages now that like basically does giveaways and like, oh, buy some of our merch and you get raffle tickets. So my thing was going to be, it was named Culture, and you would go on vacations to different places with me. So I would take you to like a new place that you've never been to. You'd learn about like the different culture in that area and like go, and it was just because from traveling before, I learned about like, you know, you kind of, once you get to know different cultures and different ideas, and it like kind of like, I don't know, you become less divided, basically.
Sure.
Like it's like you care more about like, oh, people in general, because like, oh, okay, you go to Costa Rica, then let's say you meet someone from Costa Rica, you're like, oh, hey, I went to Costa Rica, like it was really awesome, or whatever.
Sure.
Oh, I went to Brazil, it was amazing. I love the
you're learning, you're getting educated,
right.
You're opening your mind to new things.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, but this is like the complete opposite, where it's like, oh, you can't play that because you're not Jamaican, or because it's not a Jamaican instrument. You should be playing like where it's like, what?
Yeah, whatever a Jamaican instrument is. Yeah, it's a very ignorant and like simplistic way to view the world, and we're like literally going backwards. Like that's why they have a term. There's another internet term for you. It's called people. So you have people who express these kind of opinions and who hold these kind of views. They're called progressive. What does progressive mean?
No. Yeah.
Progressive means that you want progress. You want to move society forward.
Right.
But it's gotten to the point where these left-leaning people, these progressives, there's people starting to call them regressive. Mm-hmm. You actually are a regressive. You see everything through the lens of race. You want to put people into a little box, and you can only do this thing. You can only react to this. You can only enjoy this stuff.
Yeah,
it's dumb. You know, like everything we eat, everything we do is it comes from different cultures. You know, it's the same thing. Why people get mad? Like, remember we talked about how people are getting mad at Kylie Jenner. Everyone gets mad at the Kardashians because every time they wear cornrows, that's a huge thing. They get mad at white people who wear cornrows and think it's like, oh yeah, you're appropriating black culture. And it's really dumb because cornrows wasn't just found in African societies. Cornrows were worn by Vikings and Nordic societies. Nordics came up with it on their own. You're literally taking your hair, you know, putting it together many times, and you make a cornrow in your hair. That existed for different societies that were separated by, you know, it was when the world was a long time ago. They were separated. They had no idea about each other. So it's really ignorant for you to tell someone who's like Swiss or like anyone can have cornrows. Why are we like limiting this?
Right.
It's just that's why they call them regressives. So
yeah, it makes sense.